were standing behind him with a hand on his back, speaking through him. The way we use a joint account, it's not appropriate anymore. Which way? I asked, even though I knew all too well. The freeloading, he said. The word hung in the air like smoke from a fire you haven't found the source of yet. Freeloading. As if everything I contributed was parasitic. As if my job as a teacher and the extra tutoring hours I took on to bring in more income, while still running the entire household, were somehow draining him dry. As if the meals I cooked, the home I maintained, the life I organized around his ambitions, were nothing more than worthless clinging. I understand, I said. Because when the person you love turns you into a leech, really there isn't much else you can say. I think we should separate our accounts from now on, Marcus declared. The way he said it made it clear this speech had been rehearsed, maybe at the office, maybe while he was driving home. The two of them must have believed they were teaching me a lesson about financial independence. If you ask how I felt in that moment, not angry, not yet. What I felt was clarity, seeing my marriage more clearly than I ever had. All right, I said. Marcus blinked. He'd been expecting resistance, an argument, maybe tears. What he got was agreement, really, he asked. Really, I said. Separate accounts. You keep your income, I keep mine. We split living expenses 50-50. That's what you want, right? Yes, he replied too quickly. Relief washed over his face like he'd just escaped a trap he didn't realize he'd walked himself into. Then do it, I said, turning back to the risotto. The pot that had stopped simmering because I'd neglected it. I added broth, added butter, stirred again. Tomorrow we go to the bank, I said, transfer everything, start fresh. Thank you, Marcus said. There was triumph in his voice, the belief that he'd just won something. But understanding and agreeing are not the same thing, I understood that. Marcus believed my teaching job was less than his corporate climb, even though that income had quietly kept our life from collapsing in ways he'd never bothered to calculate. Your mother's coming for lunch this Sunday, I reminded him, stirring the risotto until it reached the perfect consistency. You'll make what she likes, right? Marcus asked, I still glued to his phone. What she likes, asabuco, I confirmed. She'd love it, he kissing my cheek before heading into the bedroom to shed his corporate armor. I plated dinner. We ate in silence, a kind of silence that was slowly becoming the new normal. Marcus scrolled on his phone, answering work emails. I watched him, committing the moment to memory, knowing everything was about to shift. After dinner, I washed the dishes. Marcus disappeared into his office. I heard his voice on the phone with his mother, rising and falling, intimate, complicit. She agreed, Marcus said. Every syllable was a victory. Victoria's response echoed faintly through the speaker, but I could imagine it. Probably about how her son had finally taken control. Probably about how I must be relieved not to pretend I was contributing equally anymore. Words designed to make Marcus feel powerful and me feel small. That night I sat at the folding table in the corner of the apartment, the one Marcus called your work corner. I opened my laptop and started writing everything down, every source of income, every expense, every single dollar. I spent 2 consecutive nights digging through everything I kept for years. Old bank statements, credit card bills, lease paperwork, stacks of receipts stuffed into a shoebox under the bed. I was always the kind of person who kept documents. Marcus used to laugh at me for it. What do you keep all this junk for? You'd say, yeah, Marcus, this is why. I wrote down every single household expense from the past 6 years. Rent, a portion I quietly covered every month so we could keep living this polished life. Over $48,000 in utilities, electricity, water, internet. The bills I always paid because once Marcus forgot and we had the power cut off on a winter night. Christmas gifts for his family, birthday presents for his mother, anniversary dinners, new curtains for the living room.